right, hello and welcome to Douglasville Impact, our community podcast. We are so glad to be back talking again today in our virtual world. We had a little bit of speed bumps we hit trying to get started today, but we are rolling. So thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody we have on the screen and on the show today. Joining us once again is Miss Emily Hardaway.
Hi.
Ms. Allison Parker.
Hello.
And our special guest this week is Miss Chan Weeks with Keep Douglasville Beautiful.
Hello.
Hey, Chan. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got a lot of events and things we got coming up, things that have been happening in and around the community since we were here last, and then a lot of stuff we're going to talk to Miss Weeks about with that Keep Douglasville Beautiful is doing in the community, and a lot of exciting things coming up. So let's jump right into the show, and I think we're going to start with Emily. You're going to start us off today talking about some news and events and things happening in and around the community?
Yeah, I'll kick things off for us.
Take it away.
So I'll start with some news. We have some very exciting news here in the city of Douglasville.
Best kind.
Yes, best kind of news. The city has selected a developer for our Town Green project. And so for those who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, we are building an amphitheater in a town green right here in our downtown area. It's very, very exciting. We're going to be able to have concerts and lots of outdoor events and festivals and things like that. And so I personally am really, really excited about this project. And so, yeah, we've selected a developer to kind of come in and do some type of developments that are around our town green, that's going to have retail and,
restaurants,
residential, and it's just going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
This is just the first step, though. So the first step in a long process, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's really, really exciting.
So the background on that. So these are actually two separate projects, right? So we've got our town green and amphitheater portion that we are moving forward with. So that will be a city park that we are building, and we've made a lot of progress on that. I think the final designs have been approved by council, the final drawings and everything, and that the construction of the town green and amphitheater portion should go out to bid sometime this summer. I think over the next few months we'll actually put that out to bid to actually start the construction part of the town green and amphitheater section. So this second phase is the actual area surrounding the town green and amphitheater. So in a lot of the renderings and drawings, you see the big high-rise kind of buildings that are in there. This is that area around the town green.
Right.
So the city has been in talks with Mill Creek Residential is the company that they've signed the first MOU for, the Memorandum of Understanding. It's the start of a long process, but this is you can go online and look up Mill Creek Residential. They've done some really beautiful developments all around the country, and they've got some in Atlanta as well, and they're really nice. It's a mix of residential. So there will be some residential space and amenities for those who want to, live in this kind of downtown area. But there's also going to be restaurant space, going to be retail space. There's going to be parking and parking decks and things like that back behind. So this will really complete that kind of town center feel for the downtown area. So it's a really, really nice looking renderings and artwork that they've put out right now, and they're just, they're proposals right now, but what they've put out so far looks really nice. The projects they've done look really, really nice. So it is very exciting. It's the kind of project that really changes the whole landscape of the downtown.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there, we don't have a hard timeline on what that developer really looks like, other than we know that Mill Creek has been they're very excited about the project, and they are trying their best to move things forward as quickly as possible as well. So we're excited that they are excited. So they will come in and actually develop that area, and they're wanting to get it done as quickly as possible. So and we're just
Which is
making sure
always
that
great.
it looks really, really good, and it's got the stuff that the community wants to see. So altogether, over the next couple of years, downtown Douglasville is going to look very, very different.
Yeah.
Just from that little town center project. So that is very exciting. The mayor officially announced it last week we had the joint state of the county address at the conference center last week, and she officially announced it during her state of the city address. So very, very exciting to hear about that one. So you can just stay tuned, and we'll as more information on that comes in, we'll let everybody know, because we're excited about it. So
Oh yeah. We will definitely keep you posted.
yeah.
So that's kind of big news here for us. And then we also have several very exciting upcoming events happening. The first thing that I am so excited about is happening Friday, May 7th at Hunter Park, and it is parking lot bingo. So we are putting together a big bingo game in the parking lot of Hunter Park, the parking lot out by the baseball fields. And it's just going to be really fun, and you just come and we'll play bingo. And if you get bingo, you honk your horn and flash your lights. And it's just going to be a really fun hangout time. You can pre-register just so we can make sure that we account for you and that we know you're coming on our website, www.douglasvillega.gov.
That's the one.
That's right. So I really
Bingo.
hope, yes, that's right. So I really hope that that you're all able to join us, because I really think it's going to be a super fun night. We're going to have some prizes, and it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, and we are in that big parking lot next to the ball field, so we have a lot of room, but there's only so much space.
Right.
So we're gonna have the cars basically skipping every other space, so you can sit in your car, you can hang out, you can play bingo. If you'd like to get out and sit in the space next to your car, you'll have a space that's designated for your party, your group. That's still gonna have a car between you and the next group. But because we're doing it that way, there's still only a limited number of spaces available.
Right.
So we got a lot of spaces out there, but there's still a finite number. So that's why we're asking people to go ahead and register, just to make sure. If you want to come, make sure you're accounted for and we got you on the list. But it should be a fun night, kind of a tailgate kind of experience. Like I said, you can hang out in your car, you can bring a chair and sit next to your car. We're going to have some food out there. Hopefully got some food trucks out there of some sort. We're talking to a couple of different food trucks now to see which ones we can get out there. So there'll be food trucks, play some music, play some bingo, have some prizes, just kind of hang out and have some fun,
Oh, yeah. Just going to be super fun and chill and, good
community
times.
getting together. We've been wanting an opportunity to get together and hang out. So
Exactly.
in person.
And still socially distance for those due to COVID. So you don't have to worry about that. So definitely
all those things are going to be in
time.
place, and we'll have the social distancing signs out, and we're going to make sure, that's why we've got it set up to where you're in your car, and if you get out of your car, you're still socially distanced from the party next to you. So we've got all those measures in place. But Emily's done a great job of putting together an event that, has those things in place, but it's not going to feel, like we're separated virtual or something like that. It's an in-person event that's going to have a lot. We're going to have a lot of fun with a lot of people hanging out and just having a good time, so that we're not worrying about the safety stuff. So it's all there, but hopefully we're still going to have a great time, and it's not going to be the focus. So.
So definitely.
Train.
So definitely come and check it out if you're able to.
Yeah.
Yes. Another event coming up is the Taste of Douglasville on May 15th at 11 a.m. It's going to be at the Cultural Arts Center. And something really cool they're doing this year, since it's a little bit different, is they actually have these booklets that are available to purchase at the CAC that have, they have a ton of community restaurants. I think they're like coupons or vouchers, something like that you can purchase, and then you can go to these local restaurants and use them. And I believe they cost $40.
I want to say 40.
Which, when you think about it, that's actually a really good deal. So those are available to purchase at the CAC.
Yeah, they actually have them in now. We had other Emily. We had Emily Leitner with the CAC on the last episode, and she talked all about their plans for Taste of Douglasville coming up and how they're kind of modifying it a little bit this year. And she talked about the coupon booklets, and they have them finished and they're in hand with all the different kind of area. A lot of restaurants from around the community in there with different coupons and freebies and things like that. So. I'm not sure if they've assigned a dollar value to it yet, but it's one of those things where you pay $40 for it. You probably make that back in your first couple of restaurant visits.
Definitely.
And, free meals and free appetizers and discount meals and things like that, BOGOs and different stuff. So, and this is in place of them. They typically have all the restaurants out for Taste of Douglasville set up with all the booths and things like that. So this is kind of another option because it's a fundraiser for them. The Cultural Arts Council does a lot in our community to promote arts and creativity and things like that. So they do a great job in the community, and this is one of their biggest fundraisers that they weren't able to really have, last year. So it's a great way to support the arts in the community, support the CAC and all that they do as well. And, get a lot of really good free food out of it, which is also good.
A great cause and good food. What more could you ask for? So,
and then,
and then the last thing I have before I'll turn it over to Allison, we have a lot of parks events coming up this summer and coming up soon. You can go to our website. I'll say it again, www.douglasvillega.gov, and you can check out all of our parks events. We're going to have Screen on the Green again this summer. Movie nights outside, which is always fun. We're going to have a Camp Terrific in July, which is a camp for individuals with, I believe, learning disabilities. Is that correct? For Camp Terrific? I think so. More information about that will be on our website.
It's all on the website,
Yes, and then we also have a Teen Alliance coming up at the end of June for your teens who would love to get involved in the community. So definitely check out our website to get more information on all of those events.
Nice. Yeah, the parks they stay busy over there. They've got camps and things going on. So yeah, definitely check out the parks section of the website. So. All right, Allison Parker, what's going on down there in your corner of the screen?
It's the Parks Party again. They are just keeping busy, which is always great, but always trying to find things for our youth to do in the community as well as families. So Kids to Park Day is May 15th. Last year we did something a little different. We did Parks to Kids Day, where we hopped in a van and we went to different neighborhoods, and it was a great time to see the lines of families waiting for the park swag bags and all the great activities, the mobile playground that we had. Well, this year we're doing things different again. So May 15th again is Kids to Park Day, but what our Parks Department is encouraging is for all families to participate in our park scavenger hunt. And so you start at Hunter Park, you go into Ike Owens, they'll give you a brochure with all the different stops that you're supposed to make along our parks. Make sure they're city parks and not county parks, but that information will be included. And that is happening May 10th through the 16th. And at each stop, there is a selfie station for you to participate in. And then once you finish, you submit all your photos, and that is how you get a park swag bag. And so again, that's May 10th through the 16th. Only city parks. Maybe one day we can discuss doing something on a wide scale with our county parks, but right now it's just city parks. And that information can be found on our website at douglasvillega.gov or on our social media pages.
Nice.
So always fun with that. And tis the season for scavenger hunts. So if maybe the park scavenger hunt is a little too wide for you, we invite you to come down to our downtown Douglasville area and get active in our downtown scavenger hunt, which is happening the week of May 3rd. And what that looks like, again, is you start at the Welcome Center. You'll receive a map with information on all the different stops. Each stop has a selfie assignment for you to complete, so make sure you read those instructions thoroughly. And we will compile all those winners, all the participants, based on the hashtags that you use on social media, which is, if I believe, is hashtag downtown Deville Hunt. But again, that information will be on our website, douglasvillega.gov, and on our social media pages. And this one is sponsored by our Downtown Development Authority in Main Street. So we have so many great opportunities for photos in our downtown Douglasville area. You can go to the Coke mural. You could go to the fountain. You can go to the old police precinct. I mean, there are just so many different areas that take really, really great photos, especially if you have iPhones. Shameless plug. So definitely encourage you to get started on that. But again, you can find that information on our website, douglasvillega.gov, or on our social media pages.
And there is always somebody out on the plaza taking pictures.
Yes.
And it's prom season, so there's like suddenly every day there's somebody out in formal wear on the plaza somewhere.
Yes.
Taking photos.
Yes. Prom season, we had graduates out there from a dental school a few weeks ago. Sometimes it's birthday photos, headshots. I mean, there's always a good reason to take a photo.
Sometimes it's just some dedicated Instagrammers.
We've seen some very committed Instagrammers. I mean, hanging upside down, and
They got their ring
it's always
light.
fun. Yes. Always fun to see them out there. So whether you want to get involved in the park scavenger hunt or downtown Douglasville scavenger hunt, either is a great opportunity to get some steps in, spend some quality family time, no matter if you have young kids or couples, whatever it may be. Scavenger hunts are definitely good to get involved. And then back to our parks, we are updating our pedal pushers program. So there's some new pricing coming through, which you can find again on our website at douglasvillega.gov and on our social media pages in the upcoming weeks. But then we're also going to start group rides. And so if you're someone like me, I do much better with accountability. That's the best way for me to get out and get active. And you want to ride bikes, we have bikes that are available for rent, and you can do the trikes, which are the 3 wheels, or the double wheels, and meet up at Hunter Park. And group rides, I'm going to read this information so I don't get it wrong. Group rides will be available Mondays from 6 p.m. to 6:45 p.m., Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m., or Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11:15 a.m. And so, again, this information will be on our website and on our social media pages. But this is an opportunity for you to meet some of your neighbors, for you to meet some people who may not stay in the same community as you, but are all still here in Douglasville and just want to get active by riding bikes, which I had an opportunity to do the pedal pushers not too long ago. It's fun, but it is not easy. So, I want to encourage everyone that it's a workout.
Yeah.
I was tired. I wasn't sure if I was on the easy route or the intermediate route. But whichever route I was on, I was ready to turn around because my knees and my thighs, and it was hot, but it was so much fun. And I look forward to doing it again. So that is definitely a great opportunity.
Nice.
And then the last thing is and I'm not going to steal Chan's thunder, but we are definitely excited to bring back the Church Street Farmers Market, which is happening Tuesday, May 4th at the Old Police Precinct. And they have some really, really fun, exciting things happening for this first one. And so I will allow her to mention all those things, but we'll be listing that information on our website, douglasvillega.gov, and on our social media pages.
Speaking of shameless plugs.
Right.
Well, let's just kick it over to Chan. That's an excellent segue to Miss Chan Weeks with our Keep Douglasville Beautiful. So, Chan, why don't you start off and tell us about the Farmers Market? We know it is about to kick off for another season. You guys had a great year last year, so tell us about the Farmers Market coming back at Church Street.
Yeah, we're really excited. It starts May 4th, Tuesday, May 4th. And because of it being on May 4th, be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
We have decided to do a little bit of a Star Wars kind of push. If you are a Star Wars fan, come out and wear your Star Wars theme attire, or bring a little Star Wars theme, plush or something with you. And you can be entered to win some very cool looking Star Wars kitchen, like accessories, mitts, and some other odds and ends. So you can be put into that drawing. So that's exciting. It's also going to be next week is the Tuesday before Mother's Day. So we're going to be also giving away a large flower bouquet that you can be entered to win as well. And that anybody can participate in that. So just by showing up. One of our very favorite vendors is going to supply that, the Little Flower Garden. And they were a big hit last year, and we are excited to have them back again this year. On that note, we have about 24 vendors that will be out with us on Tuesday. So that is quite a bit more than what we had last season. I think our record last season was around 15 or so. So we were really excited that our vendors have almost doubled. We have a ton more produce vendors, which we're really, really happy about. And this year we are going to be able to double EBT SNAP dollars. So if you are on that program, you can come to the information booth there and see us, and we will give you not only the money that you turn in for your SNAP dollars. So if you want to say, I want to spend 20 of my SNAP dollars, we're going to give you bonus ones. So we're going to double those for you this year. So that will that's really exciting. We're really happy to be able to offer that program through Wholesome Wave, a special grant that we received. So we are really excited about this year. So much going on. Each week, we're hoping to have some special guests that will be with us, whether they're nonprofit organizations or just community members. I know the library's coming out one day, the Lions Club. There'll be a lot of some information booths and things, but we are really excited about offering that kind of stuff as well, and just some special events throughout the entire season, which runs through Tuesday, May the 28th. So we have a lot planned. It's a full schedule, and we look forward to everybody coming out and enjoying all of the local produce that our vendors are offering, and all the wonderful crafts and everything that are going to be available.
Yeah, you guys had a great year last year. You know, a lot of people turned out, and the vendors just kept kind of coming in. You know, so yeah, looking for a really exciting second season. So it's starting May the 4th and running through September 28th. May the 4th, September 28th. So all summer long, you know, great fresh produce and fun. And again, another great opportunity just to come out and, you know, enjoy some community in a safe way. You know, so this is outdoor and everybody's kind of spaced out. So the people who are still, you know, you can still feel comfortable being out there, but, you know, you're out in the community. With your neighbors and stuff as well, which is also super nice to be able to do again. So,
and I forgot to mention it's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. each Tuesday. That's kind of important.
Yeah.
We will be out there, so you can catch us after school, after work. We'll be out there till 7 p.m.
Nice. Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, we're all super excited about that. But you guys have also been busy doing a bunch of other stuff, right? So we had Earth Day last week or so, right? So tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you guys were doing for Earth Day with Keep Douglasville Beautiful.
Earth Day is annually April 22nd, and we did celebrate that last week with several litter cleanup events throughout the city. We also partnered with our county affiliate, Keep Douglas County Beautiful, and Georgia Highlands College. So we were excited to bring those partners on. There was a cleanup held at the Georgia Highlands campus with Keep Douglas County Beautiful, and they picked up around that area and a little bit on Highway 5, and then the park that's in the old Bill Arp Elementary School on Highway 5. So there's the Bill Arp Park there. So they cleaned up all in the park and around the school. So that was really great. We also did a cleanup around the Culture Arts Center all throughout the historic downtown Douglasville area on Campbellton and Selman Avenue. And we also incorporated a little bit of a little planting refresh over for the Culture Arts Center, just to help them get ready for Taste of Douglasville coming up May 15th that Emily mentioned earlier. We finished out the day at 4:30 over in the Mill Village neighborhood and cleaned up all the streets throughout the Mill Village neighborhood. So I think there was close to 8 miles of streets and roads that we picked up through that area. So that was really exciting. That's we did a lot, and we can't thank our volunteers enough for coming out for all of these events and helping, to keep Douglasville as beautiful as it is, and maybe make it a little bit prettier along the way as well. So we were really happy and thankful for all those volunteers who came out.
Absolutely. You got a great crew of volunteers that always is willing to step up to help. And that's a lot of cleanup. You guys cleaned up a lot of different areas. That's awesome. So you mentioned, so you mentioned cleaning up over in the Mill Village area, which is also where our community garden is, right? And you guys have been doing a lot over there. We got new trees, we got new fencing, right? It's looking nice over there, right? Any new updates coming?
What's that?
Any new updates or anything else about the community garden we need to tell people about?
So we just did our summer planting. So those crops and everything will be coming up. That's always available for anybody who wants to come over and check it out, help volunteer, come over and, pick some strawberries or, tomatoes. We have so many different vegetables and fruits. And now with all of our trees, of course, we're not going to see any fruits on those trees probably for a couple of years, but we're excited that they are growing and have added that component to our garden. And we put in a fence, for MLK this year. And it's really, coming together. It's a great little garden.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. It's super, super awesome. All right. Community garden cleanup days. You guys also just held your spring recycling event, right? As part of spring cleanup week. So you guys had the recycling event this past weekend?
We did. Yeah, our recycle event always kicks off the cleanup week for the city residents. Of course, it is open to anyone, city, county, or out of the county residents for the recycle event. So that's great. We have people driving, from outside our community to come to that event, and it's a free event where people can just drop off anything from, electronics and scrap metal. We do have a $5 fee for TVs and monitors, but for the most part, everything is free. And so people take the opportunity to clean out their basements, their attics, wherever. We had over 240 cars come through, even though it was raining half of the morning.
That's right.
So we were all soaked. The volunteers were amazing as usual. We had wonderful help from the WSA Water and Sewer Authority here in Douglasville, Douglas County. And we also had a really great group of young people from Stewart Middle School led by Marcus Harley called RULA. That's reaching, outstanding, overachieving leaders. I don't know, it's great though, but some teen boys that were just wonderful help. And, we were glad to have their muscle, but thanks to them and to WSA. And then our of course, our Keep Douglasville Beautiful board for making that event a success.
Yeah, you guys were definitely dedicated because it was predicted to not be a very nice day at all.
On Saturday.
And it's, a rain or shine event. We have the cleanup week starting, with this week. So we want people to have that option to get rid of those items and recycle them, because during cleanup week, we can't guarantee that the items will be recycled. So we do give that option, the Saturday before. So it's rain or shine, and it definitely rained on us this year.
And then I know that spring cleanup week has been going on this week, and I know Mr. Roberts has said that people have definitely been participating in that because they have had their stuff out on the curb and it's been picked up, and he said there was a lot of it this year. So that's always a great thing that the community likes as well. So another thing that the community is super excited about is coming back, I don't know what day we're on now, but coming back next week, we have our residential recycling is going to be resuming next week, starting officially on May 3rd, right? So let's talk a little bit about that, because we need to talk a little bit about how the new recycling process works and how the recycling program in general. So we know that recycling is coming back, but we're looking at kind of really, we want to talk about what can and can't be recycled in that recycling program, right? And some of these things are, we're not talking about a whole lot of new guidelines. We're talking about things that have been in place for a long time that have been a struggle for recycling forever, because not everything that everybody thinks about as being recyclable is recyclable, right? So there's a lot of stuff that is obvious, and there's a lot of stuff that we think is obvious that I was totally wrong about. So let's talk a little bit about recycling. That residential recycling is coming back, but what is some of the biggest things we need to let people know about what they need to know about what not to put into that recycling and what they should be putting in that recycling? What are the biggest hurdles that we're running into with the recycling program that we need to make sure we're letting people know about?
So our biggest change with it coming back this year is the plastics. We are still able to take some plastics, but it's limited only to the plastics number 1 and number 2. And you ask, what does that actually mean? There's on the bottom of most of your plastics, whether it's a water bottle or something, it'll have a little chasing arrows with a number in it. I know I'm looking for that.
I was looking for it, but I've got my bottle, so I.
Oh, so
Hey, there's
this
both.
has a 1.
There you go. Emily's got one.
So even a reusable water bottle, it has a 1. So that if that broke and Emily was no longer able to use it, if it cracked or something, she could put that in the recycle bin. Yay!
Nice.
Thank you, Emily.
So,
So if it has that chasing arrows with the number 1 or number 2, and if you don't see that symbol on it, please do not put it in the recycle bin.
Right.
We do not want anything else. If it does not have that number 1 or number 2, it does not go in the recycle bin. So that is our big thing that we really are trying to get across, that those other plastics, try to avoid them, try to find other ways to not have to purchase those items, or, maybe if it's a toy or something like that, then, find it a new home if your child has outgrown it or doesn't play with it any longer. So we want to encourage, some reuse as well in those things.
So this is a process that really, it doesn't start when you've got the empty bottle and you're heading toward the container and you look at the bottle and say, well, it's got a 1, it's got a 2, it's got a 3. This is something that really should start at the store when you're buying the bottle, right? So when you're buying, water bottles or drink bottles or something like that, look at it at the store and try to find one that has the 1 or 2 that's going to be recyclable. That way, when you get to the end, you can recycle it, right? So it's a little bit of forethought, and a little extra effort, but I think the main key that we're trying to let people know is we want to err on the side of caution. If you're not sure, it needs to go in the trash and not the recycling, right?
We don't want any of the wish cycling. I wish it could be recycled. I'm going to hope that it's recyclable. I'm going to put it in there. But no, it's not here in the city of Douglasville. That doesn't mean it's not recyclable anywhere in America, but it's not recyclable in the city of Douglasville. And we do have different items that we can recycle versus what a neighboring county or community might have.
Right.
So just pay attention to those. Going back to what we can't take, we still do not accept glass, still no styrofoam. Please avoid items that are heavily contaminated with food, like your greasy pizza boxes and that type of thing. All your plastic grocery bags, there's a place you can take them back to the store and recycle them unless you can start training yourself to take your reusable bags, we love those reusable bags. So yes, so let's, like Jason said, err on the caution side of, if we're not sure, go ahead and put it in the trash. But that is just, something like what you were saying before. Let's go back to before we purchase an item, kind of the forethought.
Yeah, because what happens is if you get a lot of the stuff in your container that technically is not recyclable, and that gets then mixed into a truck full of recyclable materials, and a few houses have done that, and they've got some stuff in there that's not recyclable. What we end up looking at is contaminating a whole truckload of recycled materials, right? Which makes it a real challenge. We want all the stuff that is recyclable to be recycled. So once it makes it to the recycling facility and it's out of our hands, they look at it, and if there's too much, if it's a contaminated load that they can't recycle, then it becomes more trash than recyclable. So our goal is to get as many things recycled as we possibly can. So it's just something we really want to be thinking about. And again, err on the side of caution. If you're just not sure, don't put it in the recycling bin, because a whole lot of things that are recyclable end up not getting recycled because of something that's not is in the load. So another thing that we got a question about on social media yesterday that we have listed on our site that's not recyclable is lids. So when you've got all your water bottles and you've got the numbers on there, but we've got lids and things. So we're like, hey, well, what do you mean by lids? How many lids? What kind of lids are not recyclable? And I know that oftentimes the bottle is one type of plastic, but your lid is a different type of plastic, right?
Right. And it's great if people remember to take the lids off, but if you forget, it's okay. the main thing we're concerned about is, those items that aren't the number 1 and 2 plastics, the glass, the styrofoam, the bigger items that are really going to make a major difference in contaminating that load and possibly sending the entire load to the landfill. And then none of those items get recycled. Yeah. So, if your lid gets left on, okay. I think there's worse, but we can definitely avoid the glass, the styrofoam, the food, the anything not 1 or 2 plastic. So let's focus on the big things.
Is there anything else major that people need to be looking for? Is when we're talking paper and cardboard and boxes and things like that, are there some of those that are recyclable and some of those that are not?
As far as cardboard and boxes, we can't accept anything that has like a wax coating on it. So like your milk cartons that you get from school, with the plastic coating on the outside, something like that wouldn't be recyclable. But your normal cardboard boxes, even your cereal boxes, your snack boxes, that kind of things, those are all recyclable. Now the plastic bag inside, not recyclable. Throw that in the trash, break down the cereal box, and then the cereal box can go in. So it means a little bit of an extra step, just paying attention and just not tossing everything in one. But it really, think about what you're doing, helping future generations.
Yeah, I think the people that are wanting to do this recycling, they're wanting to make the extra effort, right? People who are recycling because they care, they're recycling because they want to, think about the environment. They want to think about that. So I think the people who are recycling are going to be okay with taking that little extra minute to think about it when they're buying it, to think about it when they're pulling it apart, to think about it when they're rinsing things out that need to be rinsed out before they go into it. So I think it's just all about that little extra effort, and I think most people are okay with that because they understand they're making an effort for the good. It's just knowing what needs to be thought about is the biggest hurdle. So I know we've got a lot of stuff. We're gonna be sharing out a lot of information on our social media about this is recyclable, this is not recyclable, this is something that you need to think about when you're recycling. We also have a lot of stuff that on our website. We've got our Douglasville Go Green program, where we talk a lot about reduce and reuse, because recycling is the third thing that we don't even want to get to recycling if we can talk about reduce and reuse, right? So anytime you can use reusable water bottles instead of even the recycling water bottles, excellent. Anytime you can use the reusable bags instead of the plastic bags, that's an even better step than the recycling. So there's a lot of information on the website. We've got a whole Go Green Douglasville page with Bo on there telling us all about reduce and reuse. We're going to have more information up about, what can be recycled, what can't be recycled, what, different things you need to be thinking about when you're putting stuff into one bin or the other. I know Allison's got a whole lot of stuff lined up for our social media to start putting information out there as well. And Chan's been working with her to tell us all the stuff that we didn't really realize about recycling and stuff. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And it's just a matter of, thinking about it a little bit, right? So is there anything else, major that we need to make sure that we're talking about with the community and stuff when we're talking about recycling that we need to make sure people know about with it coming back next week?
It's still going to be on the same day as your normal garbage pickup. Okay. So that hasn't changed. So just make sure your cart is to the street no later than 7 a.m. on your pickup day. We do ask, we use automated trucks now. So we do ask for spacing in between the carts. So please, allow, several feet in between each cart so the automated arms can go and grab those cans and not knock everything over. That would be really nice. That helps us out because we are still, as far as manpower, we're still a little shorthanded. And so those automated trucks have been really, really good for us to kind of help pick up the slack there.
So social distance your cans. Make sure your cans are socially distanced from one another. And not only socially distanced from one another, but socially distanced from your mailbox or your basketball goal as well. or other vehicles.
Stuff. That's good.
Yeah, because you have a big metal arm coming down and grabbing a trash can. You don't want that big metal arm coming down and grabbing your mailbox or your basketball goal or your car. So, social distance everything. Okay, excellent. What else? Anything else that we need to make sure people are thinking about?
I think that's it. If you're a good recycler, encourage your neighbors. We would love to have 100% participation in recycling. We definitely have certain areas and certain neighborhoods that are really great, but we'd really like to have every city resident recycling. You start small. If it's just your water bottles, start with that, and then kind of increase, and then you can start putting your junk mail in there. You can start putting your cardboard boxes and your cereal boxes, and you can kind of increase it if you're a new recycler. But start small and join. It not only reduces your garbage, but it can actually reduce your garbage bill if you have to. If you currently are using multiple garbage cans at your residence, if you just take an inventory of what's going into your garbage, you might see that a majority of that is recyclable, and there's no additional charge for recycling. So it may mean that you can bring your sanitation bill down a little by giving up one of your garbage cans and getting recycled in.
Yeah, I think if you went full on into it, there's definitely ways to reduce the overall waste that goes into the trash side. Because if you talk about pulling out the recyclable materials, that's a certain amount. I know we've talked a little bit at one point about composting and things like that. There's a certain amount of stuff that's in your trash that could probably be in a compost type thing if you're interested in that. And I know Keep Douglasville Beautiful, we may have some information about that on the website as well, but Keep Douglasville Beautiful could definitely tell you about that. I know we've talked with Kevin Livingston on a previous show about that from the UGA Extension Office. That's also an option if you want to do composting and make some nice compost for your garden or something like that. A lot of stuff that's in your trash probably can be composted as well. So there's definitely ways to reduce that and, again, reduce your trash bill maybe a little bit if you can reduce it down to just the one can. Yeah, for sure. It's a great point. All right, well, that is going to be recycling, and it is coming back officially May 3rd. I know everybody is super excited about Allison's really excited down there about recycling returning. So that is great news. But keep an eye out on the website and the social media for more information. We're going to start pushing more and more kind of educational pieces to talk about recycling, reduce, reuse, and then recycling and what can and can't be recycled. So keep an eye out for all that. So I think that's going to wrap up the show. Anything else you want to talk about before we close, Ms. Chan? Anything else that Keep Douglasville Beautiful? All the great things. You guys are doing a lot.
Just come out for the farmers market. You won't be disappointed.
No, definitely. So we're going to come out for, May the 4th. We're going to come out for the big Star Wars night for sure.
As a huge Star Wars fan, I am so excited about May the 4th farmers market. So.
That sounds really awesome.
Yes.
Not that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Somebody may have decorated my office with Star Wars stuff. It's unrelated. I don't know if I can tell my camera up. There may be a Death Star hanging from my ceiling. Yeah, we'll definitely come out for Star Wars night to kick off the farmers market this year. And all the other things as well that we talked about coming up event-wise. We're so excited that events are coming back and we're able to start getting back together and doing some fun things in the community. So thanks, Emily and Allison, for all those things as well. And thank you, Chan, for joining us and talking about all the things that KDB is doing and about the return of residential recycling. So thank you for guys joining us, and thank you everyone for joining us and watching and listening, and we will see you next time on Douglasville Impact. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.